Okay, I got my piece of wood. I chose poplar for this one because I want a little bit more weight on the popper here. And then I'm not really sure what wood to use on liplesses, but I've had good luck with poplar in the past on this one. So I'm just gonna go with the same thing and see how it turns out. Okay. All right, I miscut the under, but that's all right. Okay, now I need to do the profile of this one. I think I'm just gonna cut it in half, or maybe like a little more than a third off. Be like that. Like that, where I keep this much. Sounds good. I'll figure it out later. Don't think I want to profile it any more than that. Okay. Looking good. Okay. So I did some things in between. It's a new day. First I reprofiled the front of this one down the middle to make it slim down a little bit more. And then on this one, I took off maybe like a third of the width. So it's much more manageable. And my plan with this right now is to draw the contour lines for the carving. I'm going to keep this top flat because that leaves more surface area for water to catch on when I'm actually pulling it through the water, and that'll give it its wobble. And then for this one, I'm thinking of just going fairly standard round lines. And then I'll just hollow out the mouth with a Dremel, and then I'll start putting in some hardware. Ah, that's much better. Just had to change the blade out on this. That was so much better. Ooh, this one's gonna be hard. Okay, now I'm gonna get started on sanding these. I'm just gonna give them a nice sand, smooth out everything. Try to keep this top profile nice and sharp though. Got a little crack here, so I think I'm just gonna keep on sanding it, fill it with some dust, and then I will try to thin super glue it and see if that'll fill it. Okay, I'm going to drill some eye sockets, and then I'm going to drill some hardware holes. Okay, I'm drilling this with a 1/2-inch hole. Just using this impact driver. Is that a good shot? That's a good shot. That's actually kind of huge. I take that back. We're not using 1/2 inch. That is giant. So I'm gonna go 5/16 instead. Oh, good thing I checked that. Okay, 5. Which is alright. I got a Dremel. I don't really want to do that right now though, so I am going to ignore it. Maybe I'll just skip out on that part, but all I'm gonna do is just take a Dremel, just hollow that out a little bit, make it nice and smooth and cut literally exactly like this one. Okay, I'm gonna start drilling the holes for the hardware. And for this one, I would usually go for a through line hardware, but since this is a pretty hard wood, it's poplar rather than like a balsa or something like that, I'm pretty comfortable with just putting in long hardware. So I am gonna go with that rather than the through hardware. Okay, that was the smoothest one of them all. Alright, that's all the hardware done. I'm gonna have to put in the hardware and then I'm gonna drill lead holes. And then I haven't decided whether I want to actually drip the lead in or I'll just make little plugs, but I'll figure it out. I have the lead poured, I drilled some holes, and I just melted up some lead and dropped it in there, and then I shaved off the top using a razor blade. And now all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some super thin super glue. I just had to get this delivered. And then I'm going to get some baking soda and drop the super glue over it. Okay, what that did was create a plastic-like substance. It's super hard, and it's really durable. All right, I'm gonna do it to this one next, and then I will sand it down and clean it up. Okay, I have my mesh on to do the scales. And for this one, I am just going to do a tiger stripe pattern. So just literally straight down the middle, 3 stripes, and then I'll do black on the back after that all dries. And for this part, you really have to make sure your paint is dry, or else when you pull off the mesh, it'll just pull off all your paint. Okay, that's good. And now what I like to do is, I don't really have a template, but I do start on one side, and then I start all the way at the top, and then I flip it over and go to the other side, and I'll copy it off of that. So I'll start like there, and then okay, that looks about good to me. And then gotta make sure it dries really good. All right, I just took the scales off, and this is how it looks. Looks very nice and clean. It brightened it up a lot. It was a little dark for my liking, but it is pretty nice. I'm doing the next scales on the popper, and I'm just going to be doing some gold blotches, and then I am also going to add a like a very light blue fade scale at the top. Okay, just a few little blotches right there. I'll do the same for the other side and then put some blue on top. Okay, gonna do a scale reveal here. You can see the blue I put on top a little bit. You do not want any lateral movement when doing this. It's gotta be all vertical. That'll give you a better look right now. You can see that super subtle blue on the top there. Came out awesome. There you go. That's pretty much the finished lure. I'm just going to paint the mouth pink, and then I'm going to call it good. There you go. I am using a 2-part 5-minute epoxy. I would go with a 10, but since I do not have a rotisserie to keep the coat even, I like to go a little bit faster cure time. So I am just going to go with this. And it's important to do equal parts. More hardener does not equal more hard. I've learned that the hard way. That blue that I put in there is coming out really nice with the clear coat. Thank you so much to everybody who's made it this far into the video, and a huge shout out especially to Kelly who ordered these 2 baits. I got a ton of motivation from this project, and I hope anybody out there trying to make their own lures did as well. Later!